Welcome back to another exciting episode of Cyber Defense TV. I'm your host, Gary Malevsky, and the publisher of Cyber Defense Magazine. Sitting in my hot seat today is a very special guest. Corey Bodzin is the Chief Technology Officer of Deepwatch. Corey, welcome.
Thanks, Gary. It's nice to be here, or virtually here, as COVID has us all doing.
Yeah, so tell us, Deepwatch is kind of a next generation MSSP. Tell us what you do, how you do it, where you see the market going.
We call ourselves MDR, Managed Detection Response, kind of MSSP 2.0. The way I like to put it for people who ask when I just have a short amount of time is we, by way of our squads, partner with the security teams of our customers to make sure CISOs sleep well at night. And
I love that. How do you get a CISO? They're always under attack. By the way, is this mid-market? Is it large enterprise?
We serve both. We'll serve anybody. We especially find that mid-market, where skills gap is really large, and there's a lot of technology, a lot of capabilities to understand. We can really help them out with expertise and knowledge and best practices. But large enterprise, same thing. We support. We work side by side with their SOCs and can really help them see what their peers are doing and how they can improve.
And you're talking about their security operations center, not their clothing, right?
Not their clothing, although SOCs are nice too. But yes, security operations center. We're seeing a lot of trends towards network operations, security operations, kind of combining. Everyone's got security at the forefront of their minds, and so we help make sure they do it well.
What are you noticing in the SOCs that is missing and you guys are adding the value for? Are they not catching threats fast enough? Are they not using enough AI, ML? I mean, what are you seeing missing that you guys are saying, hey, this is what helps that CISO sleep well at night?
Well, that's a great question. So there are a lot of trends we're seeing today that are pretty old trends. Myself, I've been in the industry 25 years now, about 15 on the vendor side, but a long time ago I was on the customer side as well. And good for my job security, but bad for the industry is a lot of the trends haven't really changed. There are an awful lot of point solutions in security, and it's hard to be an expert in all of them. It's hard to even know which ones are the best ones. There is a lot of interest in doing things well, but we're not as good as an industry at information sharing. So getting an understanding of how you're doing compared to your chosen peers is a difficult thing to do. And then we hear a lot of people saying, look, there's so much to do. There's so many things coming at me. I need to know what the one best thing is I should do today in the limited amount of time I have. And all three of these actually dovetail exactly with what we're doing at Deepwatch, both with our services and our new product offering, Deepwatch Lens Score. We try to answer those very questions for people. What's the state of your security operations? How do you compare to your peers? What's the one thing you can do that is the smartest thing, maybe most cost effective, maybe lowest hanging fruit, maybe addresses the attacks that are coming most immediately to help you get better? And people really appreciate that insight.
So Corey, Deepwatch has a product that actually can find the holes in the SOCs.
Absolutely. You're making me think we missed a mascot opportunity in our product. But yeah, Deepwatch, we are a traditional services company. I was brought on to help take some of that knowledge, expertise, know-how we have and turn it into actual products. And we just actually this week have launched our first product, Deepwatch Lens Score, which you can try out at lens.deepwatch.com/score. And it does exactly that. It helps you measure your maturity, compare yourself to your peers, and understand what's the best thing to do next.
Is that LENS, just lens.deepwatch.com/lens score?
That /score, that's right.
Oh, /score. So it's Lens Score at Deepwatch. Corey, yeah. This is awesome. Now, enough of my humor and joking aside, you guys are actually scoring. What do you think? Have you looked into FAIR and that FAIR Institute?
Yeah, the FAIR Institute, the guys at Risk Lens, I know Nick, that's exactly the kind of goal. Now, they're taking a different approach, and I love their approach. Our maturity model, which is actually something we have, we're working on a patent on, it does the same sort of thing. It makes it possible to scientifically measure the impact of your data sources and your asset coverage and your analytics usage. I can definitely see a future where our customers will also want us to pick up some of the concepts of FAIR and actually translate some of that SOC and SecOps effectiveness directly into business terms, such as dollars and cents and impact and prevention. So yeah, and full disclosure, I've been at a couple of companies, and most recently, I came from Tenable a couple of years ago, where they are working on something very similar. We have a lot of great partners. Tenable happens to be one of them. We were thrilled to be a Black Unicorn finalist and really proud to be mentioned alongside some of our other partners like Kenna and Cybereason. A lot of these companies are all trying to help solve that same problem of how do I really scientifically understand where I'm at? We think we take a particularly good spin on it, talking specifically about SecOps, but people like RiskLens, people like Cybereason do the same thing in their domains as well.
That's great. So Deepwatch really is doing its own version of a factored analysis in information risk. It's really a score, right? And this is a lot of people are wondering, what is this FAIR Institute? It's going to be a new standard. I mean, we don't have a FICO score for our network, and everybody who's a CISO wants one. I sleep better at night when my FICO score is in the 800s, right? Not in the 300s or 500s that says bankruptcy on my network. That means hackers are in and we've got holes everywhere. So the higher the score, I would assume, the better.
I love the fact you're using FICO. We actually talked quite a bit about that internally, and FICO is a perfect example. Everybody understands their credit score. There are a lot of tools out there to help you understand the things you can do to improve your credit score. Pay off some of your credit card balances, don't be late in your payments, etc. In the security industry, that's one of the things we're missing, is that notion of, in the case of our maturity model score, it's a 1 to 10 score, and we try to provide that insight on you're at a 4.5. If you want to get to a 5.5, the best thing for you is to potentially say, add Active Directory logs so that we can see authentication events and maybe credential misuse. Maybe for a particular company, that's not the best choice. There's legacy needs, they just can't do it. We give the next best recommendation. Maybe if you more fully deploy Cybereason across your environment, then you'll get better visibility to endpoints, and that would also yield a points increase in your score. So that tie of not just what is my score, but what are the things that impact it? That's where we're trying to really make a difference in the SecOps space.
Sounds great. Now, Corey, is Deepwatch writing connectors or plugins to the endpoint and the vulnerability management, all these guys that help you add value? So your product is really kind of the top of the pyramid, and you're putting all the best stuff under you and integrating.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a robust set of technology partners. We are deliberate in keeping them limited. I mentioned endpoint, for example. We partner closely with CrowdStrike and Cybereason. There are other players out there with very good technology, but we want to make sure we're only covering what we can be experts in. We do the same thing with vulnerability management. We offer a managed vulnerability management service. We partner with Tenable and Qualys. There are others out there, but we're experts there. In the case of our SIEM, we are fantastic partners, and they're fantastic partners for us with Splunk. And so we leverage Splunk and the wealth of connectors and capabilities that they have to make sure that whatever data sources people have, could be Zscaler, could be CASB, could be Fortinet, you name it, we're able to take that data in to help sort through what's happening, to tie, as you pointed out, some advanced analytics. I'll even use the dirty word of ML to understand what is happening and provide real meaningful insights to our customers. Here's something we see, here are the things we think you should do. And here's what will happen. Here's how we'll work with your team to make it so. Try out Lens. We've got it available for the world so that you can get an idea of what your maturity score is and how you compare. And of course, there's a call to action to have a deeper discussion with us if you're interested. But yeah, we're doing exciting things, and that was why I joined Deepwatch. I think it's a company worth watching, and hopefully we'll make that true over the coming year.
That sounds great. So Corey, thank you so much for joining me in the hot seat today. We're going to send our viewers and our listeners to lens.deepwatch.com/score, get their maturity score, figure out where they sit on that risk score, risk factoring, so they can be more intelligent about, how to reduce the risk and how to get one step ahead of the next threat, and hopefully become a partner of yours so their CISO can sleep well at night.
That's right. Thanks so much for having me, Gary. This is fun.
You got it. And then come back next time for another exciting episode of Cyber Defense TV.